Welcome back to the Mask of Kinnikuman. I'm Hans Lightning, and this is episode 2A. The target is Nessie. Last time our hero lost his job, Terryman is now the official superhero of Japan. Poor old Kinnikuman has been replaced. And as episode 2 begins, he's clearly looking for a way back to the top. Now, the episode actually opens with some surprisingly cool imagery. Dark skies, mysterious narration, bodies hanging in the trees. Honestly, for a brief moment, I forgot it was a Kinnikuman episode. It looked like some sort of retro anime horror. The subject of tonight's television special? The legendary Loch Ness monster. Back at home, Kinnikuman and Meat are watching the broadcast. Kinnikuman, naturally, has no idea who Nessie is. So, Meat explains. According to legend, Nessie is a mysterious creature living in Loch Ness, Scotland. A possible dinosaur, and most importantly, a relatively docile creature. And that's the moment Kinnikuman's brain activates. Because he learned something? No, let's not get crazy. Kinnikuman realizes that if he can beat up Nessie on television, the whole world will see him. He won't just be Japan's hero again, he'll be Earth's hero. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a plan. And by plan, I mean Kinnikuman flies directly to the television station with what appears to be a business proposal drawn entirely in crayon. His pitch is simple. Bring cameras. I'll punch Nessie. Everyone wins. Shockingly, the television executives are not convinced. I mean, the producers got a legitimate concern. Seriously, can Kinnikuman take on a giant monster? And honestly, based on recent evidence, that's a fair question. Luckily, a giant monster just happens to appear. Kinnikuman springs into action and immediately slips on a car like a banana peel right into the subway station, where he has a head-on collision with a subway train. He's sent backwards, reeling against the building. The producers are not impressed. Kinnikuman's like, no, I got this. Monster shoots a giant fire beam, catching Kinnikuman on fire. What's gonna put him out? A pissing cherub statue, okay? Yet somehow still, Kinnikuman manages to defeat the monster. And the producer is impressed. Kinnikuman gets the job. Everything is finally coming together. Until we discover that the monster was actually Meat in a costume, which raises some troubling questions, mostly regarding Meat's willingness to participate in the scheme. So off to Scotland we go. And honestly, this is where I kind of started to realize something. Not much actually happens in this episode. I'm not saying that's bad. I'm just saying that it feels suspiciously like the writers started with the ending and worked their way backwards. Because when Nessie finally appears, he's actually kind of adorable. Massive, friendly, completely uninterested in violence. He's like a giant seal. Nessie doesn't attack Kinnikuman, he plays with him. Licks him, bounces him around, uses him like a basketball. The legendary monster of Loch Ness behaves less like a monster and more like somebody's adorable Labrador retriever. Eventually, Kinnikuman, tail slapped into orbit, decides maybe this is a good time to go home. Meat shows up though and throws garlic in his face. The garlic somehow makes him gigantic. Again, this is like the Popeye thing maybe. And he rockets back towards Earth, cocks back a massive punch, and charges directly at Nessie, ready for the battle of a lifetime. Nessie responds by opening his mouth, and Kinnikuman flies right into his gullet. Down the esophagus he goes. Fight over, hero eat. Great effort, everyone. At this point, the show immediately holds a funeral, a full funeral. The man has been missing for approximately 12 seconds. It's almost as if they were ready for this. And Nessie gets a bit of a tummy ache, uncomfortable noises, and suddenly, Kinnikuman appears, alive, victorious, and smelling like shit. Meat asks the obvious question, bro, where did you come from? It's not like Kinnikuman knows, but we do. Straight out that monster's ass! And that's when everything clicked for me. This entire episode, the television station, the trip to Scotland, the monster hunting expedition, funeral, the giant battle, all of it was basically an elaborate setup for one joke. One extremely timeless joke. And yet a joke that required an entire animated production to tell. And honestly, I respect that kind of commitment. Join me next time for episode 2B. I'm Hans Lightning, and this is The Mask of Kinnikuman.